We're here on an initial permanency hearing. Mr. Albie's with us for the department. Let's see, we're getting feedback from someone. Let's see who's not muted. Well, everyone's muted. Okay, Mr. Albie's with us for the department. Ms. Ledbetter's with us for CASA. Mr. Turner is with us representing the child. Ms. Hayes is with us representing the mother, Ms. Dominguez, or Garcia, who is with us, and the father, Mr. Garcia, is with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would call Lisa Godsey. He is currently placed where?
In a foster home.
In what county or city?
Hawk Lake County.
And is that placement meeting all of his needs at this time?
They are.
Are they making sure that he attends all of his medical and therapeutic counseling, if any, sessions?
Yes.
Any special issues or special needs that have arisen with this child that we need to make the court aware of today?
I know he was having some problems with like spitting up after eating, but I think those have gotten better.
And when those were first brought to your attention, do we make sure that the child was seeing the appropriate doctors?
Yes.
Child's mother is Star Dominguez.
Yes.
Miss Dominguez was ordered to work services through a service plan.
Yes.
And has Miss Dominguez began working the services that she was ordered to work in that service plan?
She has.
Are there any services that she has completed at this time?
There are.
What services has she completed?
Whenever I did the court report, I haven't followed up since I did the court report on this one, but as of 5/4, she had completed 4 sessions of counseling. On 3/6, she completed her psychosocial, and she had completed like an outpatient drug rehab through, I'm trying to remember the name of the place in Plainview. Is it Serenity, I believe?
And are there services in that service plan that Miss Garcia or Miss Dominguez, excuse me, has not completed at this time?
At this time, she has not started her domestic violence support group. That was done through Family Support Services, and she's having trouble finding a parenting class in Plainview.
And have you been working with her to help her find a parenting class in Plainview?
I have been talking with her about that and trying to see where we can find a parenting class for her to be able to take.
In the meantime, is she cooperating with random drug screens?
She is.
And has she taken any random drug screens recently?
The last one I sent her for was on 5/9, and that was a hair follicle. I have not sent her this month.
And on 5/9 was the result that she was positive for methamphetamines?
Yes.
And substance abuse was one of the reasons that Ezra was removed from her care?
Yes.
Is she currently living with Damian Garcia?
She is.
Damian Garcia is the father to this child?
Yes.
He was also ordered to work services?
He was.
And are there services that he has completed at this time?
At this time, he is still doing the Fatherhood Fire online parenting. And then he still needs to do his OSAR. And as of 5/23, he had completed 1 counseling session, and he has completed his psychosocial.
Was he also asked to randomly drug screen on May the 9th?
He was.
And was a result of that drug screen that he was also positive for methamphetamines?
Yes.
Part of the reason that the child was removed from this family was because of substance abuse from both parents?
Yes.
You find it concerning that they're both still testing positive for methamphetamines as of May 9th of this year?
I do.
Are you asking that the court order that they both drug screen today?
Yes.
What type of drug screen would you ask?
UA.
Are the parents exercising any visitation with Ezra?
They are.
What kind of visitation are they exercising?
They're having in-person visits. They were recently moved to a joint visit with both parents starting last week.
How long are those visits?
They're 2 hours.
Any concerns noted with any of the visitation with Ezra?
The only concern they were having was with pick up and drop off, but we have remedied that and everything is good there.
Today, would you agree with me that it would still be unsafe to return this child to either parent?
Yes.
And it would be contrary to Ezra's general welfare to return him to either parent?
Yes.
Are you asking that the court continue the department as temporary managing conservator of the child?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Sharon.
All right, thank you. Ms. Hayes, questions?
Yes. Would it shock you to learn that Ms. Dominguez has already done 14 sessions of counseling and domestic violence and AOP?
That has not been reported to me.
Okay, and then she's already done 6 sessions of counseling as well.
Again, that has not been reported to me. My information was from 5-4 on her counseling.
Okay. And when was the last time that you communicated with Ms. Dominguez about where she was on her services?
I met with them in person on June the 6th in the evening.
Okay. And in terms of the drug test results, have their levels for both parents, especially Ms. Dominguez, have their levels of drug use or detection gone down, their numbers?
Ms. Dominguez went down a little bit and Mr. Garcia's has went down more than hers.
Okay, so both of their levels in terms of drug testing levels have gone down since the start of this case?
Yes.
All right. I'll pass the witness at this time, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Turner?
Have both parents completed their substance abuse assessment or their drug assessments?
To my knowledge, Damien has not completed his OSAR assessment.
Okay, but Star has.
I'm sorry, I'm looking to find that date.
And I'll go ahead and follow up. Is there anything that the department would recommend based upon the drug assessments that the parents need to complete?
Not right now, but she did complete her OSAR on 2/7.
Okay. Are either of the parents employed presently?
Yes.
Where are they employed?
Star is working at Pizza Hut, and Damien is working, I cannot remember the name of the company, but they've sent paycheck stubs.
Okay. Has that employment so far been stable, on and off? What's their employment history been like?
I know that whenever I took this case over, Star was still doing like an in-home health, which I believe she's still doing. And she recently got that job at Pizza Hut. Damien had switched jobs recently whenever I took this case over in April.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Garcia, do you have any questions you want to ask Ms. Gutsy? You're muted.
Yes, I don't really want to ask any questions, but I do want to state the fact that I have done my psychosocial. I have 2 classes left on my one-on-one counseling. I'm like 6 weeks into BIP. I only got like 3 classes left of Firehood. And yeah, that's all I want to do is state that.
Okay. Have you still
farther off than she is claiming.
You still haven't done your OSAR assessment to see what we're going to need to do about your drug problem, have you?
Yes, sir, I have.
You did the OSAR assessment?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay. When did you do that? So, because Ms. Gotsy's not aware of it.
Okay. I'm not for sure. I'd have to I'd have to find the paperwork and everything, but I have completed all that through Jennings Counseling, and I've been attending there. I'm a lot farther off than she claims, though.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Gotsy, we need to look into his OSAR assessment, because if he's done it, we need to know whether or not there's anything that the court has to order as far as drug rehab.
Yes, I'm showing that he had an appointment on 3/31 and rescheduled for 4/11, and then he no-showed for his appointment on 4/11 and had not rescheduled that with Linda Dudley.
Okay, then you need to get with him because he said he did it at Jennings Counseling and I wasn't aware that Jennings Counseling does OSAR assessments. So
They do not.
yeah, you need to get with him and let him know what it is he needs to do.
Okay.
Okay. All right, then. Anyone else have further questions for Ms. Gottsy? All right, then, Mr. Albee, do you have any other witnesses?
I do not, Your Honor. I rest at this time.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Hayes, any witnesses?
I just like to call my client real shortly.
All right.
And in terms of the services that they said that you need to execute, where are you on your sessions with your classes?
I have completed IOP outpatient. I actually sent Lisa my certificate. I have completed 14 sessions of domestic violence class. The lady was supposed to send Lisa the information because I asked her if they do certificates and she said no, they just follow up with Lisa and let her know I completed that. And then I've done 6 sessions of Jennings counseling, and I also completed that with Steve.
Okay. And
I've had a job for more than 6 months. I've actually had my job for CNS for 2 years. And then I just started working at Pizza Hut. It's been 2 months already. And we've had a house for more than 6 months also.
all right. And in terms of support that you would have for your son at this time, what kind of support do you have?
Well, they were all in the witness room. That they were trying to attend my court. But it's my life group, David and Carla Sales. We talk to them daily. We met them at the church we got married at. And my life group also is the Pastor Dave and his wife, Karen.
Okay.
So
And they
yeah, I have
support,
pretty good support with my life group.
okay. And if they supported you in terms of recovering from whatever drug use you've had in the past.
Yes.
All right. I'll pass the witness at this time, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Albee. Any questions?
Ms. Garcia, when was the last time that you used methamphetamines?
Me? Are you asking me? Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's been about going on 3 months.
And how long has Ezra been in the care of the department?
Since he was 6 months, and he just turned a year old, so 4 months.
So you've used methamphetamine since Ezra was removed from you?
At the beginning, when they first took him away, yes, I did. But after that, no.
Okay. And you've gone to an outpatient program, that's what you said, IOP?
Yes, sir. With Serenity Center in Plainview.
Okay. And do you have an explanation as to why you tested positive for meth in May?
In May. Well, I was still trying to get clean at that point.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Turner, questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Garcia, do you have questions for Ms. Dominguez?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, then. Ms. Hayes, did you have any other witnesses?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Turner, any witnesses?
None, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Garcia, did you have any witnesses?
They're in the waiting room.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear his answer. Mr. Garcia, did you have any witnesses?
The witnesses were in the waiting room, our life group and our church.
Well, you can call them as a witness if you want to, but I mean, if they just wanted to see the hearing, they should have gone onto YouTube instead of gotten into the waiting room.
Okay. I mean, I don't really need to call.
Okay. Right. For both the parents, let me tell you, in the future, like if you have your support group, anyone that wants to watch that's not going to be a witness, they can always go on to the YouTube channel. That's just other Northern Panhandle Child Protection Court, and then they're free to watch the hearings. So, okay, then, Mr. Turner, recommendations?
Your Honor, I'd recommend that the department be maintained as the temporary managing conservator, that placement be continued, and that the parents be ordered to drug screen as requested by the department.
All right. Ms. Gottsy, they're living in Plainview. Where would they drug test?
I have that set up for Lubbock.
Okay. All right. This is Friday. Some of the outfits don't test Friday afternoons. Do you know about Lubbock?
I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar with Lubbock.
Okay. Well, just to be sure then. Okay. I've got that then. Okay. Then Ms. Ledbetter, anything Costa needs to add?
Nothing to add, Your Honor. We would just, we agree with Mr. Turner's recommendations.
Okay. Then I will continue the department's temporary managing conservator, continue Ezra's current placement. I'll order the parents to UA drug screen by 4 p.m. I'm going to say by 4 p.m. on Monday, next Monday, June 19th, because some of the testing facilities don't test on Friday afternoons. So I'll order that be done by Monday at 4 p.m. So,
Judge, if,
right.
if I may, June 19th is a federal.
Oh, that's right. That's a holiday. Yeah. Tuesday, June 20. Then they'll need to test by 4 p.m. Okay. Next hearing will be on October 13th, 2023. As far as I know, it will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing. And again, the parents, if you have anybody with your support group, anyone you want to watch the hearing, we're here on a final hearing. Mr. Albee is with us for the department. Casa is with us. Ms. Grant is with us representing the child. Ms. Kincaid is with us representing the mother, Crystal Maudlin, who is with us, and the father, Stephen Collins, is with us. And I do have a motion to retain the suit on the court's docket filed by Ms. Kincaid on behalf of the mother, Ms. Maudlin. I'll take that up before we decide what we're doing about the final hearing. Let me just ask, I've read the report. It appears that Ms. Maudlin has done quite a few services, and I just want to know, is there any objection to the motion to retain the case on the court's docket by any party?
Judge, I've staffed this, and with my folks, we are still waiting on an ICPC home study out of Missouri, so we don't really have an objection to the extension at this time.
Okay. Anyone else have objections?
No,
All right.
Your Honor, the child would like to stay in her current placement as well. So no objection on behalf of the child.
All right. Okay, then, based upon the fact that the mother, apparently from my report I read, has done quite a few of the services, I believe the family code is clear that I have to find extraordinary circumstances that warrant the extension of this case, so that the parent, at least the mother, Miss Maudlin, doesn't appear Mr. Collins has done much of anything, but Miss Maudlin has. So I will grant that motion to extend the case and retain the case on the court's docket. We can go ahead if we want to. Leslie, do we want to do this as a permanency? It looks like we had one in April. I don't know if we have anything scheduled out further.
I can check right quick, Judge.
Okay, we can treat this as permanency and then we're good for 120 days, or if we don't need to, then we won't.
Judge, we wouldn't object to it going ahead and being done as a permanency hearing. I think there is some question as to placement, and we want to make sure that we've got a current order on placement at this time.
Okay, all right. Well, let's just treat this as a permanency hearing then. So, okay, then I've got, as I said, I've got quite a few people in the waiting room. Mr. Albee, who do you need in?
Mavis is going to be the only witness until or after we have some objections to what I want to do. And then I may have a couple of witnesses that we would want to call as rebuttal witnesses. But right now, I just want to call Mavis.
Okay.
And Abigail is currently 9 years old and residing with a step grandfather.
Yes.
And that's in Wheeler, Texas.
Yes.
And she has been with this particular grandfather pretty much from the time that she was removed from her mother, Crystal Maudlin's care.
Yes.
During the time that she was with or in this house, Abigail's grandmother passed away.
Yes.
And she has remained with the step grandfather.
Yes.
Recently, the step grandfather has relocated to a new 2-bedroom residence.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is that residence appropriate for Abigail?
Yeah, very appropriate.
And is it safe for Abigail?
Yes.
Is she doing well currently in her current placement?
Yeah, she's doing fabulously well.
She recently, school is recently over, but did she improve during her school year?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is Abigail seeing a therapist on a regular basis?
Yeah, the therapist reported that she was doing so well that she's now doing once a month instead of like every other week.
And what is that therapist's name?
Caitlin Thompson.
In St. Francis Ministries' opinion, there's no reason to move Abigail from her current placement at this time.
No, there's no reason.
In the meantime, Crystal Maudlin is the child's mother,
Yes, sir.
and she is no longer in Wheeler. She's currently living in Missouri,
Yes.
and she has attempted to work some services.
Yes.
Has she completed any of those services at this time?
Yeah, she has completed her psychosocials. She did her individual counseling. She did her rational behavior. And she's ongoing with her mental health. I called the place. She has another appointment on June 20th. And I think, yeah. And then she has some left too that she has to complete.
When we last had a hearing a couple of months ago, she had just moved to Missouri and she didn't have a stable home. Does she have a stable home at this time?
No, she still does not.
Do you have any concerns about drug use with Miss Maudlin?
No.
But her health is still a very serious concern.
Yes.
Child's father is Stephen Collins.
Yes, sir.
And it's taken us a while to get him served and get him present in this child's life.
Yes.
But and for the record, he is on the Zoom meeting with us today.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you have been in contact with him?
Yes, every time, every month.
Has he been aware of services that he needs to work?
Yes, I spoke to him and he told me he's willing to do services.
Has he started any services?
Not yet. I sent him a UA for him to go screen, and I called yesterday and he has still not done so.
We have asked that an ICPC home study be done on Mr. Collins's mother. Has that begun?
Yeah, Miss, I think as a matter of fact, she has to go to a place to do her fingerprinting today. She said her appointment was at 9:30. So.
But until that ICPC home study is completed, we can't even really consider returning this child to Mr. Collins's mother. And would you? Well, first of all, we can't consider sending the child to Mr. Collins's mother.
No, we cannot.
And until Miss Maudlin and Mr. Collins have completed their service plan, would it be safe to return Abigail to either of them?
If all their service plans are completed, then.
But right now, it would not be safe.
No, right now, no.
And it would be contrary to Abigail's general welfare to remove her from her current placement where she's doing well and change that placement.
Correct.
Are you asking then that the court continue the department as temporary managing conservator of this child and that we leave her current placement where she's at?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Asante, if Abigail's doing so well with the maternal grandfather, why are we doing an ICPC on a paternal grandmother?
Well, initially, Mr. Schaefer told us to move Abigail when his wife died. But as of now, I think he changed his mind and he wants Abigail to stay with him. But I don't think it's for a long time. If Abigail Abigail has other siblings back in Missouri. So if she would able to be bond with her other sisters, then I think that would be the best for Abigail. It will be in her best interest.
Okay, I understand. Okay, thank you. Ms. Kincaid, questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Has Ms. Maudlin completed her parenting classes?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And has she made contact? Initially, she was supposed to contact TPC, but she moved to Missouri, and it looks like the service plan was changed for her to contact Compass Health Network. Has she done that evaluation?
The evaluation, no, but she's seeing the therapist over there.
Okay. And other than housing and employment, what other services is she needing to complete?
Yeah, it's mainly housing and employment, and then complete her mental health assessment. Those are the 3 that she has to complete.
Okay. And is the mental health assessment at Compass Health Network?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Has she maintained contact with you?
Yes, throughout.
Okay. And has she been cooperative with you?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pass witness, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Asante, I read in the DaCosta report that Ms. Maudlin had been in the hospital with congestive heart failure. Is she still in the hospital or is she out?
No, she's out. She went there on Tuesday and came back on Thursday.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. Okay. Ms. Grant?
Ms. Asante, would you agree that Mr. Schaefer has made certain adjustments in his life to remain placement until permanency can be established for Abigail?
Yes.
And would you agree that he is meeting all of her needs at this time?
Yes.
He's making strides in keeping her grades up and helping her be successful in her education, correct?
Yes.
Is Abigail currently on any medications that have changed since the last hearing in this matter?
Yeah, on June 13th, they went to Dr. V, and Dr. V made some changes to the medication. I checked online, but I didn't see the change. And the paperwork that he sent me, he sent it to my phone, and it's so tiny for me to read it, but he told me there were some changes to the medications.
Okay, and that was an adjustment after he saw Abigail for her last appointment, correct?
Correct, yeah.
And has Abigail reported to you that she is currently satisfied with the medications and is willing to try the change?
Well, they've not received the medication yet. They've not sent it to the pharmacy, so they're still waiting on that.
Okay, and so we'll just need to update that after some length of time to see if that change is effective, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, do you know when she has a follow-up appointment with Dr. V, if anything is scheduled?
Well, I wasn't able to read it because it was so tiny, so I'll rather look at it on a computer and then be able to determine when the next appointment is.
Okay, thank you. And has Abigail expressed to you the same as she has to me, that even if she's relocated in Missouri, that it would be her desire that Mr. Schaefer also relocate to remain near her and in her life?
Yes.
Pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Thank you. All right, Mr. Collins, this is Judge Graham. If you'd unmute.
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, Mr. Collins, do you have any questions to ask Ms. Asante?
No, I mean, I know I'm supposed to be doing my classes, but you know, I got my youngest 2 daughters. I got them full time now. Their mom ran away, moved to Joplin or whatever, and left me and my 2 youngest. So I got them full time. I got a 3-bedroom apartment. I work every day, all day long, 5 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon.
Okay. All right. Well, this is the first hearing you've been at, so let me advise you of something. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, you have the right to ask that the court consider whether or not you're entitled to a court-appointed attorney. Do you understand that?
Yep.
I didn't hear your answer.
Yes, sorry, my phone's.
Okay. Do you want to ask the court to consider whether or not you're entitled to a court-appointed attorney?
No, I can get one if I had to.
Well, sir, if you're having to raise your 2 daughters on your own, you're working all the time. It sounds like you're struggling. If you choose to, you can ask that I consider whether or not you're entitled to a court-appointed attorney, and if you are, that will be at no cost to you. Do you understand that?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. All right. If you don't have the paperwork, get with Ms. Asante or get with the department or St. Francis, or you can get with my office, and we'll get you the paperwork to fill out so that I can see whether or not you're entitled to a court-appointed attorney. Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right then. All right then. Ms. Grant, recommendations?
Your Honor, I recommend that the department maintain temporary managing conservatorship, that the case be extended. The child is happy and successful in her current placement, wishes to stay, and I recommend that she be allowed to stay there at this time.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Kincaid, I don't think I asked you if you had any witnesses.
I don't, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Then, Ms. Callie, does Casa have anything to add?
Nothing to add, Your Honor. We're in agreement.
Okay. All right, then. I will grant the mother's motion to extend the case and retain the case on the court's docket. I will continue the department's temporary managing conservator, and I will continue Abigail's current placement. I'll set the next permanency hearing for October 4, 2023. As far as I know, that will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket exactly when that hearing will take place. In that case, Mr. Albie's with us for the department. That will conclude. Ms. Ledbetter is with us for CASA. Ms. Kincaid is with us representing the child. Mr. Michelson is with us representing an unknown father. And Ms. Cross is filling in for Mr. Pirtle representing the mother, Ms. Tucker, who is with us. I will also call a related case, again, Mr. Albie for the department, Ms. Ledbetter for CASA. Ms. Christie is with us representing the father, Mr. Martinez. Mr. Barfield is with us representing the child. Ms. Grant is with us representing the mother. In that case, Ms. Macias, who is with us. And I think I've said this, Ms. Christie's with us representing the father, Mr. Martinez. So, okay, that accounts for all the parties.
And before we begin any testimony, I would like to have a breakout room with Stacy, Donna, and I'm not sure who you announced as the ad litem in the Martinez case, but those are the three that I need. I think we can get an agreement in the Martinez case, Your Honor.
Okay. You don't need the lawyers from the Tucker case?
No, I have not talked with Ms. Cross, Your Honor. So I want to start with the Martinez case, make sure I've got it straight, and then I'll talk with Ms. Cross.
Sounds good. All right, I'm just going to put every lawyer that I have just mentioned and marked off on the Martinez case. I'm going to put you all in a breakout room.
I can announce an agreement on the Martinez portion of this case.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. The parties, I believe, are in agreement that the department will be named as temporary manager, continued to be temporary managing conservator, that she will be placed with Alvaro Martinez, the father. That's just a placement, Your Honor. That Michaela will be ordered to work services. She'll be given the same typical type of things of an offending party. Then Mr. Martinez will also be asked to work some services. We'll do an assessment for him. He will be asked to work some services, but the child will be safe in his care. So we want to place the child in his care.
All right. Okay, then, Ms. Grant, is that your client's agreement?
That is, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Christie, is that your client's agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Barfield, are you in agreement?
I'm in agreement. I just want and I talked to Ms. Christie about this. I just want Mr. Martinez to know that, I think he needs to just work some services just because he was, there was some distance involved and stuff like that. But I'm in total agreement with this placement. I met with the child yesterday and the paternal grandparents. I believe this is in the best interest of the child at this particular time.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Ms. Ledbetter, you've heard the agreement now. Does CASA agree with this arrangement?
Yes, Judge, we are in agreement with that as well.
Okay. All right. Then I will approve that agreement. I will continue the department's temporary managing conservator. I will order that Giselle be placed with her father, Mr. Martinez. We've talked about some services. We'll get to that at our next hearing. Our next hearing, the status hearing, will be on July 21st, 2023. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket to see exactly what time that hearing will take place. Okay, now let's talk about Tucker. If it's not agreed, do we need any of the people?
We may, Your Honor, but before I can do anything, I have not had any opportunities to talk with Ms. Cross. So if you would allow me to talk with Ms. Cross briefly, maybe we can figure out where we're at.
Well, again, you want me to do what I just did, put all the attorneys in the Tucker case into a breakout room, or just Ms. Cross?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it that way. Back from the breakout room, where do we stand?
Judge,
go ahead.
Thank you. I've made an offer to Janice. She needs to relay that to her client.
Okay.
She's not had an opportunity to do that. So
okay, so we need a breakout room for Ms. Cross and Ms. Tucker.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. I think everybody's back from the breakout room.
Your Honor, I met with my client, Susan Tucker, and we wish to announce that she does not oppose the department being named temporary managing conservator. She's willing to work her services. I do ask that CPS kind of help her because she is located in Oklahoma. She is doesn't have all the services available to her that a Texas resident would. And so I ask that the department kind of work with her and let her take advantage of the services that she can actually do there in Oklahoma.
Okay, well, I guess that would be a matter to take up at the status hearing when we will
Yes.
be deciding what services the parents will work. So,
Yes, sir.
okay. All right, then. Let's see then, Mr. Michelson, on behalf of the unknown father, do you have any opposition to this agreement?
No opposition, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Kincaid is the ad litem for the child. Are you in agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The child's doing well in placement and they are having visitations. So I'm in agreement.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Ledbetter, you Costas heard the agreement. Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Okay, I meant to ask this in the last case, but y'all can tell me, as far as the Tucker case, where's the child currently placed? What type of facility and what city or county?
Foster care in Amarillo.
Okay.
And Your Honor, they interviewed Gabrielle Senna, who is Susan Tucker's sister, yesterday. And we're hoping, we don't know the results of the interview or the background check, but we're hoping that her sister is eligible because she is willing to take the child.
Okay.
So we're hoping, fingers crossed, that Gabrielle Senna is eligible to be placement for the child. It is someone who the child is familiar with.
All right, thank you. Okay, anybody can answer. I didn't ask in the Martinez case, where is Giselle currently placed? Type of facility and city or county?
Shelby, you probably can answer that for me.
Giselle is placed in a kinship home in Dumas, Texas.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then in the Tucker case, I will approve that agreement. I will continue the department as temporary managed conservator, continue the current placement, knowing that they're looking at a possible family member to change Leslie's placement too. So, all right, in the Tucker case, the status hearing will be on July 21st, 2023. That will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or so in advance of July 21st to see what time that hearing will take place. Okay, I appreciate y'all working that out. This was our last hearing for this morning, so we will stand in recess. Everybody
Judge,
have a good week. Yes?
Before I leave, do you have cases up in Perryton?
No,
Okay, I'm just wondering how they did, how the court system did.
I don't know, but from what I saw on the news this morning, it's bad.
I know. Okay.
Okay, all right, we'll stand in recess. Y'all have a good weekend. Thank you,
Thank
Amy.
you.
Thank you,
You
Judge
too.
Graham.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, Judge.